Most people go through life without ever stopping to ask themselves why they're here. They wake up, go to work, go through the motions, and repeat the same cycle day after day. Deep down, there's a whisper that says, there must be more to life than this. And that whisper is right, because without a clear and compelling vision, life becomes a series of random events rather than a meaningful journey. You might have dreams, ambitions, or even passions, but without a vision to direct them, they become scattered, confused, and often abandoned. Vision isn't just a luxury for leaders or entrepreneurs. It's a necessity for everyone. It gives your life structure, meaning, and momentum. It's what separates people who wander from those who build. Have you ever noticed how some people seem unshakable in the face of challenges? It's not because life is easier for them. It's because their vision is stronger than their obstacles. Vision creates clarity when everything feels uncertain. It keeps you grounded when the world is spinning. It gives you a reason to say no to distractions and yes to discipline. It's not just about setting goals. It's about seeing the destination before you arrive and then aligning your decisions to get there. When you don't have vision, everything feels urgent, yet nothing feels important. You find yourself saying yes to things that don't serve your purpose just to fill the void. But when you do have vision, everything changes. You stop drifting and start driving. You stop reacting and start creating. You begin to live with focus, energy, and direction. The question isn't whether you're capable. The question is whether you've decided to see beyond where you are right now. Because until you see it, you can't become it. In a world filled with noise, distraction, and endless options, many people find themselves lost in the crowd, unsure of where they're going or why they're even moving in a particular direction. Life feels busy, yet strangely empty. Days pass quickly, but progress feels slow. People work hard, achieve milestones, and hit goals, only to find that those accomplishments don't bring lasting fulfillment. What's missing isn't effort or intelligence, it's direction. At the core of every truly impactful life is a powerful vision, a picture of a future so clear and compelling that it drives every decision, fuels every action, and shapes every day with purpose. Vision is not a vague idea or a distant hope. It's the blueprint of your purpose made visible. It's a mental image of what your life can become when you live in alignment with your values, talents, and calling. Without vision, people fall into cycles of busyness and burnout. They chase trends instead of truth. They react to life instead of creating it. But when vision is present, it brings structure to chaos, meaning to effort, and courage in the face of fear. It becomes the silent force that keeps you moving forward even when the path gets rough. Creating a strong vision isn't just about setting goals or imagining success. It's about uncovering the deeper why behind your existence. It's about listening closely to your inner convictions and stepping into the person you were meant to become. And once you have that vision, maintaining it becomes a daily practice. It requires faith, focus, and consistency. Because the world is full of distractions, voices that will try to pull you in every direction. But when you know your vision, those voices lose their power. A strong vision anchors you. It keeps you from drifting into a life that looks good on the outside, but feels empty on the inside. It helps you measure your choices against your calling. It gives you something greater than comfort to live for. Whether you're just beginning your journey or trying to realign with what matters most, this message is an invitation to create and commit to a vision that transforms not only your life, but the lives of those connected to you. Because when you begin to live with vision, everything changes. You become intentional, you become unstoppable, and you begin to build something that lasts. One of the greatest tragedies in life is not death, but living without knowing why you're here. Far too many people move through life unsure of their direction, uncertain of their purpose, and unaware of the vision they were meant to follow. They settle into routines shaped by expectations, social pressure, or survival, never taking the time to ask the deeper questions that truly matter. What am I meant to do? What legacy do I want to leave behind? What is the picture of the life I'm supposed to create? Without these answers, life becomes a reactive cycle of getting by rather than a purposeful journey of becoming. The absence of vision leads to confusion, distraction, and frustration. People end up saying yes to everything because they're not clear on what they should say no to. Opportunities that don't align with their purpose become appealing simply because they're available, and over time their energy gets spread thin across things that don't truly matter. This leads to burnout, not because they're lazy, but because they're busy chasing things that have no real meaning. Deep down, they know something is off. There's a gap between what they're doing and who they believe they could become. One of the greatest challenges is that society doesn't often encourage deep self-reflection. From an early age, people are pushed to follow paths laid out by others, parents, teachers, bosses, or cultural norms. The result is a life built around someone else's vision. People become excellent at meeting expectations, but poor at discovering their own inner direction. Even those who achieve success often find themselves feeling empty because they climbed a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. Fear also plays a major role in the absence of vision. Many people are afraid to dream big because they fear failure, judgment, or change. They avoid envisioning a bold future because it would demand bold decisions, and that feels risky. But the true risk is living without a clear direction. Without vision, potential is wasted, talents remain hidden, and lives are reduced to maintaining comfort rather than making impact. This is the challenge, to recognize the cost of living without vision, to understand that drifting through life is not harmless, it's dangerous. Because when vision is absent, purpose is forgotten, passion fades, and life becomes a shadow of what it could have been. Vision begins with awareness, the realization that your life has meaning beyond survival, and that you have the ability to shape your future with intention. It doesn't appear out of nowhere. It is discovered through reflection, stillness, and a willingness to look beyond your current circumstances. True vision comes from within. It's not something you copy from others or pick from a shelf. It's born from your values, your gifts, and your unique sense of calling. It often begins as a quiet nudge, a persistent idea, or a dream that refuses to go away. Developing a strong vision requires clarity. You must become clear on who you are, what matters to you, and where you want to go. Clarity is power because it simplifies your choices and focuses your energy. Without clarity, even the most talented individuals can become overwhelmed and stuck. But when you know where you're headed, decisions become easier. You begin to live with direction rather than drift with uncertainty. Maintaining vision is just as important as creating it. Vision is not a one-time inspiration. It's a discipline. Life has a way of distracting, discouraging, and detouring people from their path. That's why vision must be revisited regularly. It should be written down, spoken aloud, and visualized often. It should guide your goals, your habits, and even your relationships. The people you surround yourself with can either strengthen your vision or slowly erode it. Choose wisely. Stay close to those who remind you of who you are and challenge you to keep moving forward. There will be seasons when vision feels distant, when progress feels slow, and when circumstances don't seem to align with what you see in your mind. In those moments, it's important to remember that vision is often tested. Challenges aren't a sign to give up. They're part of the process that sharpens your focus and deepens your resolve. Vision isn't about instant gratification. It's about long-term transformation. Sometimes developing your vision will require you to walk alone. You may not be understood or supported right away, but you must remain faithful to the picture inside you. Every step you take in alignment with that vision moves you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. This process isn't easy, but it is necessary. Because without a clear and maintained vision, you risk living someone else's version of life, never stepping into the full potential that belongs to you. There comes a defining moment in every journey where clarity breaks through confusion and a deep inner knowing overtakes all doubt. It's not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in a moment of reflection, during a challenge, or in the stillness of early morning. This is the moment where vision becomes real, no longer just an idea, but a conviction that shapes everything that follows. You see beyond where you are. You realize that you're not here by accident, that your life has a distinct purpose, and that this purpose demands your attention, commitment, and belief. It's in this moment that everything begins to change. The shift is internal first. You no longer need outside validation to move forward. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You stop asking for permission. Instead, you begin to align your thoughts, decisions, and habits with the image of the future you now carry. This shift doesn't mean that fear disappears or that obstacles vanish. It means your vision becomes stronger than your fear. The things that once held you back lose their grip because you connected to something greater than comfort. You've connected to your calling. This is where people often discover the power of decision. The decision to leave behind what no longer serves them. The decision to pursue what truly matters. The decision to become who they were always meant to be. The power of vision is that it gives direction to every part of life. Your relationships, your work, your time, your energy. It becomes a filter for your yes and a shield for your no. You begin to act deliberately. You speak with confidence. You walk with intention. And then something incredible happens. As you move forward, people start to notice the change. Opportunities begin to align. Resources show up. The path unfolds, not all at once, but just enough to keep going. You realize that you've stepped into a different level of living, not because your life is perfect, but because it's purposeful. This is the moment where vision becomes your compass, and you commit to never looking back. The breakthrough isn't just in seeing the vision. It's in believing you are worthy of it, capable of it, and responsible for bringing it to life. From this point forward, life is no longer random. It is intentional, focused, and deeply rooted in something greater than the present moment. It is driven by the future you've seen and chosen to pursue. Vision is the unseen force that gives life shape, direction, and meaning. It is the internal compass that guides decisions, fuels perseverance, and separates mere existence from purposeful living. Without it, life becomes reactive, shaped by circumstances, opinions, and the ever-changing pressures of the world. But with vision, life becomes intentional. You are no longer tossed by trends or confined by fear. You become someone who moves with clarity, lives with conviction, and leads with purpose. The journey to discover and maintain vision is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of growth, reflection, and alignment. It starts with asking the deeper questions about who you are, why you're here, and what kind of legacy you want to leave. It deepens through action, as each choice brings you closer to the person you were designed to become. It strengthens through challenge, as adversity tests whether your commitment to your vision is stronger than your comfort. Vision demands focus. It asks you to filter your decisions, to guard your time, and to invest your energy into what truly matters. Along the way, there will be distractions, delays, and doubts. That is the nature of any journey worth taking. But each step you take in alignment with your vision builds something far more important than success. It builds character, integrity, and impact. Vision isn't just about achieving goals. It's about becoming a person of depth and direction. It's about living each day with the awareness that your actions today are shaping the world you will walk into tomorrow. Those who live without vision often reach the end of their lives wondering what could have been. But those who live with vision experience the peace that comes from knowing they pursued what was true to their heart. They don't just live for the moment, they live for meaning. The challenge then is simple but profound. To live on purpose, to refuse to drift, to choose the harder path of clarity over the easier path of convenience. When vision becomes your foundation, you begin to see beyond limitations, beyond opinions, and beyond fear. You stop simply reacting to life and start building a future that reflects your highest values. The decision to live with vision is the decision to live fully, awake, intentional, and empowered. And it's a decision that will not only change your life, but impact countless others along the way. Now is the time to stop drifting and start designing the life you were meant to live. If you felt lost, distracted, or overwhelmed by choices, take this as your signal to pause and reconnect with your purpose. The first step is simple but powerful. Make the decision to pursue vision, not someday, today. Don't wait for perfect clarity or perfect timing. Vision is refined through action, not overthinking. Begin by asking yourself the questions you've avoided. What do I truly want? What impact do I want to make? What kind of life would make me proud? Start writing down the thoughts that come to you. Journal your ideas, your dreams, and the whispers you've silenced for too long. Create a space where your vision can breathe and grow. Don't worry about how impossible it might seem right now. Your role is not to figure everything out at once. Your role is to stay committed to the picture you see, even when the details are unclear. The how will come once the why is strong enough. The how calls for that which is. Share your vision with someone you trust, someone who will encourage you and challenge you to stay focused. Speak it out loud. Give it voice and weight. Let it become more than a thought. Let it become a commitment. And if you already have a vision but feel disconnected from it, take time to revisit it. Realign your daily habits. Cut out what doesn't support it. Guard your energy and stay rooted in what matters most. Take a small step today, whether it's setting a new goal, creating a vision board, making a tough decision, or simply saying no to something that doesn't align. Each small step builds momentum, and with enough momentum, your life begins to move in powerful, intentional ways. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Spread the message of purposeful living. Subscribe for more insights that challenge and inspire. Leave a comment and declare your next step, because when you say it, you claim it. Let today be the moment you choose vision over routine, intention over habit, and purpose over comfort. Your future is waiting. Now walk toward it with courage.